If you're a new golfer and you constantly leave putts short or blast them way past the hole, it's not your stroke. It's because you've never actually measured how far your putt sends the ball. So today I'm going to show you a simple yardstick system that teaches you exactly how far 5, 10, and 15 feet feel and how to adjust it before every round so you stop three putting. Be honest, how many three putts do you have per round? Put that down in the comments. So the real problem, why beginners three putt? You don't focus on your line. You don't focus on your speed. Those are two important things. You need to have your line. You need to know your speed. Now, in the last video, we talked about staying on your line. It's difficult to find a line, especially as you're starting to read greens and go through different things like that. Speed is something you can figure out. You also don't understand how far your stroke sends the ball. Speed and distance are two things we're going to talk about today. You can practice without measurement, but then you're just guessing. Some professional golfers, some good golfers get a feel for it and they start to understand where they're going. But why don't we take that guessing out of it and find a method that's actually going to work for us almost every time? And then course greens are different every single day. You could go to the same course every day for 3 weeks and it's going to be different. It depends on the dew, rain, how low they're cutting the greens, all different things like that. So I'm going to give you a method that you can also use to gauge your speeds, your distances against the course that day. You can't control what you've never measured though. And then later in this live, I'm going to show you the biggest mistake beginners make when they're adjusting for fast greens. Now, comment down below if you're watching live, we'll bring it up on the screen, we'll talk about it. If you're watching the replay, it'll go into next week's video. So the simple yardstick drill, we're going to break it down into some steps. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to try to figure out our 5-foot distances. So I have a putt aim. Go to puttaim.com/golf reboot. You can get your own. That's what I generally use for this because it gives me a straight line. I'm on flat ground. Most of the time I'm in my living room. Flat ground, take a yardstick, put it right next to the back piece of the ball. You want consistent flat putts. So now for 5 feet, I'm going to probably start bringing the putter back about 3 inches, hitting the ball, following through 3 inches. Generally, what I need to do to go 5 feet on flat ground in my living room is about 2.5 inches. So once you get a feel for that, I'm not worried about line right now, but if you can keep line, that's great too. I want solid contact at the center of the face of the putter, and I want to be sending the putts right around 5 feet. 5 feet, you want to be consistent every single time. That's where you can really save strokes by draining it. Now, once we're comfortable with 5 feet, we're going to move to 10. So if 3 inches was 5 feet, I'm going to try 6 inches. And what you'll notice is that'll probably work. 9 inches, 15 feet, and you can keep going. Now, the most important thing, you need to set up a routine for setting up to putt. We talked about in the last video, and that'll work. So with 10 feet, with 5 feet, with 15 feet, you're not increasing your swing speed with the putter. Keep the speed of your swing consistent so that those distances work for you. It's rhythm and consistency. So if you're a 2-to-1, 2 backswing, 1 through the ball, or a 1-to-1, keep it consistent. This will not work if all of a sudden 3 inches is 5 feet, but if you double the speed of the swing, 3 inches is 15 feet. That's going to cause you problems. Keep the speed consistent and build a distance map. I call it putter gapping. I have a chart that I can share. Comment chart down below and I'll send it to you on what I have to do with the putter so that I can get it to the hole. It removes the guessing. It's no different than club gapping, wedge gapping, anything. Now you're not hoping, you're choosing what you want to do. Let's see. Why does this work? You're building a feel through structure. It creates a baseline for reference. Now, obviously, we can't bring a yardstick or a ruler out to the course. Yardstick is good because as you go further out, you might have to go past 12 inches, but a ruler would be fine. What I do is on my putter, I know each different color. I have the Jailbird AI1 Cruiser. Each line is just under an inch. So I go back to the 3 different color changes, and that's 3 inches. That builds me a baseline. So when I get to the course, I can use that. It reduces 3 putts from lag distance. If I'm 30 feet away, I know how far back to go to get close to the hole. No, I might not go in, but I've always been a lag putter. It gives me the confidence to know that from anywhere on the green, unless it's a crazy looping green, I can get close to the hole. If I can get within 5 feet, really 3 feet, I know that that's a 2 putt. I really don't like 3 putting. So, how does it transfer to the course? Obviously, a living room and office, wherever you might be, that's different than being out on the course. Most beginners mess this next part up. So, the practice green before the round, if you are not stopping at the practice green, you're doing yourself a disservice. So, you want to roll a few 5, 10 footers. I usually go 5, 10, 15, and gauge it. Use your normal distance and see where it goes to. Adjust your backswing slightly. If you're not making it to the hole, that means the greens are slower than wherever you practice. Add another half inch, add another half inch. Keep going like that. Figure out where it's right. If you're rolling past the hole, what do? Take a half inch away. So if it's normally 3, try 2.5. And again, no yardstick, but you have your club. So gauge it off that. Even make lines on your club if you want. I wouldn't, but figure it out that way. So you're adjusting your backswing and make sure you're following through. If the greens are faster or slower, you're using your reference and modifying it to work for that day. You don't change your stroke, you adjust your map. Some mistakes that beginners make: only practicing short putts. Short putts are great. You want to hit them. You should be hitting them. If you are only practicing them, though, you're not getting used to lagging. Short can hide the difference in the green speeds. So you want to practice some 10s, 15s, 20s. I even go all the way to the edge of the green sometimes, and I'll step it out from edge to edge just to have a full distance across, usually 30, 40 feet, whatever it is, to see how far off I am so I can really lock it in. You need to do that pre-round calibration. A lot of people don't do that. They just go, they're like, you know what? It seemed to work for me, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to look like a loser. I don't care when I go out. I want to play well. So I will do that. Another piece that causes tons of problems for all kinds of putters: decelerating through impact. When you're going, you want a nice, consistent swing. You don't want to hit the ball and stop. That's going to impact you. So make sure you're nice and smooth all the way through. And then hitting the ball instead of rolling it. You want the ball a little bit forward in your stance. What that's going to do, it's going to let you hit the ball, pop it up a little bit, and it's going to go. You want the ball to roll. If you hit down on it, center of your stance, it's not going to roll the right way. So now comment down in the chat if you're here. What's your biggest struggle with putting? I know that I've always been a decent putter, but I've put a lot of time into it. And I really think it's helped my game. So my average putts per round, if I'm playing 18, I'm usually under 30, which is good. I'm almost always a 1 or a 2 putt. A couple times this past year, I 3 putted 0 4 putts last year, which was great. Even in a blow up round, I was able to not 3 putt. So I was very happy with that. Fast and slow, I actually would rather a slow green because I can give it a little bit more distance and still end up near the hole. Sometimes with fast greens, it just gets away from you. And that's tough. If I have an uphill versus downhill green like Sunset Valley where I play a lot, you've got the first hole, which is I'm notoriously bad at. It's a sloped green, literally slope up towards the back. If you go over the pin, if it's a front pin and you go over it, guaranteed you could barely touch the ball, your putt's coming back off. So here's another question. Do you practice with structure or just hit balls? If you need structure with your practice, comment guide down below. I'll send you a link and it'll be to our free practice guide that you can download. It's how I practice. I think it'll help you. If you need more help with putting, let us know. We can help with that. And just throwing it out there, we do have our beta that's getting released this week. It's going to be a video that pops up here. You also will have access to, if you join our beta, you'll have access to the full course that I'm building. It's in beta. Anybody who has it, all I ask is that you help me out, see if there's things I should change, go from there. If you want that, comment beta down below. I can still get you into it. And really, the whole point of this, stop guessing, measure your stroke. It's the same with all different clubs, but especially putting. Try this out next time you go practice, whether it's in your living room. I know North Jersey, we got a lot of snow right now. So bring your putter, some balls inside, and try it. I've been golfing on and off for 20 years from high school to today. I've gone through ups and downs, but I found that one thing that really saved me was my putting. There's two methods of setting my line that changed my whole view of playing the green. I made a video, it's going to pop up now. If you struggle with consistency in putting, check it out. It can really help change your mindset like it did for me. My goal is to post things that I wish that I knew when I started in 2004, and I want to help 1,000 golfers in 2026 while I do it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you see the rest of our videos and become part of the Golf Reboot family so that together we can play better, have more fun, and love the game again. See you next time.